The thing I want to talk about now is the most critical aspect of gang stalking, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's kind of the hardest to believe as well, but it's real. It's very real. It sounds very science fiction. It's very crazy, and it's the linchpin that kind of holds their whole program together and enables them to keep it a secret from everybody else in society. And it's called electronic harassment. This is by far the most creepy and frightening weapon in the stalker's arsenal. Some of this technology is detailed in a book written by Dr. Robert Duncan. This book is called Project Soul Catcher: Secrets of Cyber and Cybernetic Warfare Revealed. Dr. Robert Duncan actually designed a lot of the technology, or participated in designing a lot of this technology, and so he details it in this book. And that's how you know it's real, because there is a legitimate professional scientist who talks about the technology and its capabilities. And I would encourage all of you to read that book. If you have questions and you're questioning whether or not this is even possible, read the book and you'll see that it very much is possible. First thing I want to talk about is nanofibers. Through nanotechnology and chemtrails, the control panel stalkers who are basically in an operation center watching the target individuals are able to monitor and induce all sorts of things in a targeted individual. So this is very freaky. They're able to manipulate a target individual's bodily functions, things like their pain receptors, their stress hormones, stuff like that. It is absolutely creepy. They're able to speed up a target individual's heart rate to very rapid speeds and stuff like that. And they're able to, and they also have in their arsenal something that's called direct energy weapons. And I'll explain that in a little bit. In my experience with a direct energy weapon, it is so frightening. But here's been my personal experience with electronic harassment, and particularly the nanofiber aspect of it. I've actually been induced to have panic attacks on 2 separate occasions. This is before I realized I was a targeted individual. I shouldn't say panic attacks, what I thought were panic attacks. Basically, my heart rates just started speeding up very, very rapidly. It was just going at full blast, and so it kind of freaked me out. I thought I was actually having a heart attack, and so I went to the hospital. I had the ambulance called. I was at work. I had the ambulance called to my job. They took me to the hospital, and they said, "Oh, nothing's wrong. Everything's normal. Your EKG is just fine." And I'm thinking, well, how can my EKG be fine? Because my heart rate was going 90 miles an hour, before you got here. And so I just resolved that I was having panic attacks. But now I know a little bit more about the technology. I realized that I was not having panic attacks. And this is kind of when the harassment first started, and that this was just part of the game. It was part of this sick game to make me paranoid and to drive me crazy. The direct energy weapons. I mean, this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible, guys. And I would not wish this on even my worst enemy. It is such a frightening experience. I got hit with direct energy weapons twice. And I can just explain to you what I felt. That's the most I can do, because I don't fully understand the technology. But literally, in one moment, I'm just fine. And in the next moment, I'm extremely intensely hot. And I have like this tingling feeling literally all over my body, where I've just been heating up, almost like I'm cooking inside, like my insides are cooking. And I broke out in a sweat, and it only lasted for like a minute or two, but it leaves you so dizzy and disoriented and just out of it that, I mean, you're frightened. You are frightened, and you're wondering, like, what in the world is going on with me? And that's the direct energy weapons, and that's what I experienced there. And like I said, I wouldn't wish that on even my worst enemy.